Planting was already getting underway in Brazil when the United Soybean Board's Mac Marshall was interviewed in early October. By most accounts, weather conditions were more favorable in Brazil and Argentina than a year ago, which could mean larger crops and more pressure on U.S. soybean and soy oil prices.
And threading that, I think, into the episodic piece here, I really think for the first 4 months of the marketing year, it was the whole bean leading the complex. And then as you've had this divergence from these new crush dynamics, those have been kind of pulling at each other. So bean prices have been range bound at times. We get to the end of March. We get the plantings report. Markets were calling for a lot more corn and a lot more soy. Both came short of expectations. So in that whole month of April, really the next 6 weeks, as planting was starting to take off. You saw a pretty substantial increase in soybean prices then. Basically, the market was calling for more and more acres. But you also had corn prices appreciate at a faster rate during that time, too. So what we wound up with in terms of final plantings, not too different from what was initially proposed there, but, the incremental area the market was looking for when we looked at the acreage report at the end of June, was not meeting that. So we had that run up in price. We hit, I think $16.60 a bushel for old crop in May, highest in like 10 years at that point. And then really since then, we had, some concerns about what the, blenders, small refiners exemptions. That caused a couple days of limit down in bean oil prices in June. That, of course, dragged down the whole complex as well. But since then, once we got out of that, it's really just been riding a weather market. Being range bound in that January through March period. I mean, we don't have a weather market to play. It's really looking at what's going on in South America and, of course, reconciling what's happening here domestically in terms of the co-product movement. So, where we are now, earlier today it was like $12.80 a bushel for November beans. There's been vacillation, I think with each time we get a crop conditions report. Obviously, weather has played a large role in many parts of the country this summer. Obviously, flooding in the south, the drought in the north, and the Dakotas. But still overall positioned, I think, to have a good size crop here, but not one that's going to be overly onerous to inventories and drag down prices further. I mean, really, you square what our expected production is against, likely strong export season once some of the port congestion gets managed, and overlay that with, I think, what is a very favorable crushing environment, particularly when you see the component values, on the oil side. A lot of incentive for additional crush there. You put all that together, and the projected carryover we're going to have at the end of the year is probably going to remain tight, and that's what the USDA balance sheets are saying at this moment.
Yeah. It seems like I've seen a couple of reports that the weather outlook in Brazil and Argentina might be better their summer, our winter, which you would think would lead to more supplies.
I think we have to approach. We're already in the start of the marketing year, but I think we have to approach the balance of it under the assumption that we'll have significantly greater supplies coming out of South America. I rewind to this time last year, and planting got off to a rough start in both of those countries. Brazil was too wet for field work. Argentina was too dry, and planting has already started in Brazil at this point. Argentina did wind up having that short crop, of course, so we can expect probably a rebound this year in that regard. Brazil, even with the initial planting delays, subsequent harvest delays, at least on the soy side, they still wound up producing a very large crop. They're bringing more area into production. We're probably looking at over 140 million metric tons of production, assuming even normal weather. So those early stage hiccups, didn't manifest, at least on a volume basis. Yeah, so I think we have to expect, ample supplies to come out of South America, and really start to hit the market in the, February period.